Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I'm Sean and this is In The Mixer, episode 11, a very special episode. I know I say that a lot, but it's the start of season 3. Now, kind of behind the scenes stuff, it's Friday night. I know this episode's coming out on Monday. I'm just trying to get a little bit ahead before Christmas and everything. The country is on fire at the moment. It's like 45 degrees in Melbourne today. I don't know if you've ever been in a city when it's 45 degrees. It is absolutely disgusting. So naturally, like an idiot, I've decided to jump in front of two box lights and record an episode, but super excited to get season 3 going. We've got a lot to cover, go through our pre-season, a whole bunch of new faces that you'll have to get introduced to, and we'll go through the season preview for the division itself now that we're playing in the higher league. So let's not waste too much time, let's jump straight into the game. And here we are, first day of the season, 31st of July 2021, back-to-back promotions for the club. I don't think I'll focus too much on this screen portion. Our fantastic kits are, of course, up here from Request a Kit. If you want to see them a bit closer, they are up on the Twitter page. So far, 2 league titles in the bank, the Southern Combination Premier Division last season and the Hallmark Security League Northwest Division 1. We are back in Northwest Divisions. We weren't quite sure exactly how that was going to go. We're back in Bet Victor Division 1 Northwest. If we get promoted, we go up into Division 1 Premier, or I think it's Northeast Premier. Here we go. Bet Victor Northern Premier Division is the one that we would go up to if we get promoted this season. I would like to continue our run going. Back-to-back promotions is good. Back-to-back-to-back is even better. But it's not going to be without its challenges. We have lost most of the squad that we had last season. Even if we go back towards the end of the year, just players kept coming in, getting contracts offered and wanting to leave as soon as their heads were turned. So like we lost Simeon Ure, who we're still keeping an eye on. Actually, we should add him to the shortlist. Keep an eye on him throughout the course of the year. Beck, Wilson, Baker, Cook, McClellan, Diallo all lost during the season. During the most recent off-season, we lost Charlie Andrew, the goalkeeper, Essien, who was our right back, Cameron Archer up top, George Broadbent, Luke Mewett, Jack Bainbridge, Max Haygarth. There's a couple other guys that actually asked to leave the club. The likes of Josh Ashkew, who was a little bit older. A few other players as well. So it has been challenging. We have brought in a shitload of players, basically to give us a full squad of 22. We're currently got 21, but 2 of those are actually trialists that are on the club. We'll talk about them quickly because they're very, very good. Harry Jolly, an ex-Wigan central defender that we're going to try and bring in, wants too much cash at the moment for us to actually get him in. And same with Abdi Sharif, who's an ex-Liverpool junior, looking to bring him in for midfield. You can see 5-star current ability, 5-star potential, 20 years old. The perfect player to be bringing in, but we've got them on loan, on trial for like another 3 weeks. We're just going to keep trying to offer them contracts so that we can get them down. Oh, see, here we go. We're actually going to try and get Harry Jolly this episode. I'm happy to give him £80 a week for how good he is. So let's offer him that. That's good timing. And then Abdi Sharif, I think, wants about £400 a week, which we cannot currently do. We can probably bring him down to about 100. I can't afford to spend £210 on anybody because we'll go over our wage budget, and I still want to have room to move in the transfer market throughout the course of the season as better players come along. So we're trying to get him around to £100 a week. But we're just going to work on him each week. We'll offer him a contract, offer him as much as we can in terms of playing bonuses and that sort of stuff, and try and bring him in because he would be absolute quality in the centre of the park. But before we go through that, we should introduce you to most of the new guys that we've got here. It's the best way to do it. We'll do it alphabetically because I can just scroll through them. Nigel Aris, ex-Shrewsbury Junior, good left-wing option, going to be one of the stars in the team. 4.5-star current ability, 5-star potential on bugger all money because we can only offer non-contracts at the moment. Levan Brandy will play on the opposite wing to him. Obviously, the creative wingers are super critical to what we're doing. Ex-Derby and Sheffield Wednesday Junior, 4-star current ability, 5-star potential. Looks to be a very solid player. Good natural fitness, good determination. He'll be great for us. Wes Brown, who I'm actually not sure if this is any relation to the other Wes Brown, but we picked him up from Salford. Young left-sided centre-back. 2-star current ability, 5-star potential. Released from Salford without making a first-team appearance. Good stats for our level. A lot of double figures for what we are asking him to do. And hopefully he'll be good for us this season. Mason Campbell, I think it's pronounced Mason, or it's Maison Campbell, ex-Mansfield Junior, 2-star current ability, 5-star potential. He'll be our backup goalkeeper, but a great one to bring in. Ethan Cole, again, another backup, ex-Barrow Junior, looks to just be solid. He's a backup midfield option. I wouldn't expect him to play if the others are fit, but you do need to have a full squad of players to rotate through. Similar story with Charlie Curtis, ex-Sheffield Wednesday right back, 2.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential. Still in the 18, he could get a lot better. We're training him as a wing back. Good, solid mental and physical attributes for someone so young, and we'll continue to try and push his development. Louis D'Souza will probably be our starting left back in this shape and formation. Ex-Rochdale Junior, or Rockdale, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Rochdale maybe? Who knows? Let me know in the comment section below if you know. Solid player. We're playing him as a wing back. He needs to work on his crossing and his ability with the ball, but defensive attributes pretty decent. Physically, he's all right. 4.5-star current ability, 5-star potential according to the assistant, and only 18. If we keep him around for a couple of years, that'd be great. My first compatriot, an Australian international, or not international, but an Australian player, Charlie Dixon, who's an ex-Shrewsbury junior, 18 years of age, 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. We're going to work him as like you can see he's a natural poacher, but we're going to work him as like the pressing forward on support. He's got good physical traits, all 9s and 10s, good technical ability as well. We need some of his mental stuff to improve, but so far his preseason's been good. He's on relatively low money. So if someone on the market does come in that's a bit better that we can bring in, similar to what we did with Harker and Archer last year, we'll definitely try and do that. Cameron Ferguson, you may recognise the surname. He is Duncan Ferguson's son. So hopefully Duncan Disorderly doesn't come down to any games and headbutt me for not playing his kid, but it looks a solid option, just a backup poacher at this stage. Started his career at Tranmere as a junior, released in the most recent off-season. We'll continue to try and give him time off the bench and see if we can turn some of these 8s and 9s into 10s. Luke Hall, probably unlucky to not be starting up front. Looks to be a very solid forward option. Again, a Sheffield Wednesday junior. Sheffield Wednesday, Shrewsbury, Mansfield, all those teams in the lower divisions have proved pretty successful, like not hunting grounds for us, but a lot of those players are willing to come to the club. So you will see quite a few that are from similar clubs. And hopefully that kind of assists us a little bit in that they will be familiar with each other. Ethan Hill, ideally we wouldn't be starting him. He will start in the early games today because we're still trying to bring in Abdi Sharif. A solid central midfielder on support is how we're going to use him. Okay, first touch and passing, he'll be fine. Good natural fitness as well. Potentially, if he gets a good run of games, he might improve quite a bit. Harry Jolly, we already spoke about. Cole Roberts, left wing option, who we will play as that left winger on attack. He can also play on the right, which is great versatility to have off the bench. Ex-Bradford City Junior looks to provide depth to the squad, not potentially starting because we've got 2 really high-quality wingers that we went through already. Isaac Robertson, likely our first-choice goalkeeper, 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. Ex-Carlisle United Junior. Looks to be a great acquisition. Hopefully with games, he will continue to improve. Eden Sears looks to be an absolute star at the back. 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential, also from Shrewsbury. Just a good central defender on cover is how we're going to use him. He's already comfortable in that role, has good physical attributes to go along with it. And like a lot of these players, we're just going to give them game time and hopefully they'll improve and go to the next level. Connor Seymour, left central defender or left wing back, which is what we're currently looking at using him for. No technical ability to speak of. A lot of his ball playing attributes are horrific, but defensively he's quite solid. So we'll use him as a squad player and potentially look to add some of these attributes throughout the course of the year. João Suarez, which is probably the least English sounding name of any player in the squad. Good right winger, can also play as a right wing back, can also play as a full back as well. So good versatility for the youngster. 2-star current ability, 5-star potential. One that we're going to look to try and continue to develop and giving game time off the bench to provide depth for the squad. And he's got good physical attributes. I think he could torch some teams if he comes off the bench against tired defences. Ryan Swales will play at centre of the park. He's initially a deep line playmaker on defend. We're going to use him in that same role, but as a central midfielder. Has really good attributes for it. Positioning might need a little bit of work, but 2.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential. We're definitely going to give him the time. Jake Walker, ex-Aston Villa right back, will start the majority of the games. One of the stars of the team, 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. At 20, he's one of the older players that we've signed, but proven quality. He'll do well for us. Good technical ability as well, getting crosses and deliveries and stuff into the box. Max Waltman, ex-Liverpool junior, will play up top as our poacher. He'll start the majority of the games. 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. Only 17 years of age, 13 finishing at that age, 14 acceleration, 14 agility, 14 fitness, 12 off the ball, which is fantastic for someone so young. We're definitely going to hope that he turns into a bit of a star for us at this division. And being so young, hopefully we can hang on to him for a little while as well. And all the way back to Nigel Harris. So that's the entire squad that we've just fired through relatively quickly. If there's anyone that you want to look in further in depth, just pause on their particular channel or let me know in the comment section below if there's anything else that you guys want to see. I know the last couple of seasons we've fired through a ton of players, but at least I can introduce you to these guys. If things go well, you'll get to know them a bit better. And if they don't, they're on non-contracts, so we can get rid of them very quickly. There were comments the other day about how you offer people contracts, but I have not been able to figure out where in this screen you actually change it to a non-contract. Like, I think it's contract length that you would change it to. So I'm thinking that there's some sort of board limitation at the moment where I can only sign people to non-contract deals. Unless it's right in front of me and I can't see it. If that's the case, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know what it is that I'm missing, that I'm just not seeing here to offer part-time deals, but I don't think we're currently able to do it. Staff changes, there have been a couple. Basically, I've taken control back of staff appointments. I previously handed it over to Gary Waitman, the chairman, just to bring in who he wanted, and the players the people he was bringing in were absolute garbage, to be completely honest. So I've taken control of it again, and we're going to focus mainly on ex-internationals. So Leighton Baines has joined. After retiring at Everton, he's joined as my assistant manager, which is fantastic. We'll continue working him through his badges. He's getting his B licence at the moment, and hopefully that will improve some of his training abilities, and he'll grow as a coach with the club as we move up the divisions. Similarly, we brought in Graham Barrett, who's an ex-Irish international as a coach. Has pretty good mental attributes, just needs to work on some of his coaching badges as well. Similarly, he's going for his B licence now, so hopefully he'll continue to improve. And the other ex-international or ex-player that we brought in is Lee Croft, who's joined as a scout, 221 caps for England. Not the best in terms of judging player data, but hopefully that comes with time. And we'll continue trying to work him through his different licences as well, see if that improves him. A couple other new players, a couple other staff, but I just want to continue focusing on ex-internationals, trying to bring them in, and hopefully their international experience takes us to the next level. Now, pre-season friendlies, we have been smashing teams. Most of the guys that you've seen in the squad now, we brought in on trial just to see how they'd get on, see what their actual ability and potential is. And most of them have played in the majority of the pre-season friendlies, even if they weren't on contracts yet. We've beaten most teams that we've played. We kept a few clean sheets as well, some big wins in that time. Still just working with our regular positive instruction. We've changed a couple of the individual player roles to suit the players we've brought in, and done the same thing as well for our cautious and attacking mentalities when we have to go after it a little bit. Season preview, the actual league itself is relatively even. We did come into the division as the worst team in the league. I think we were 101 to odds a couple of weeks ago. We've signed juniors that don't have high potential this season, that don't have high reputations. So we aren't dominating the Media Dream 11 or anything like that the way that we have in previous seasons. Not one of the team actually makes that Dream 11. We're currently expected to finish 14th as far as the league form is concerned. Lancaster, who look to have an okay side and a good few on part-time contracts, are expected to win the division. And Hyde and Stafford are the other two in the top three that are expected to do quite well. They've got relatively strong lineups. Regardless of that, I would still like to try and go after it a little bit and try and get promoted. Maybe it won't be as big a cakewalk as the last two seasons have been, but I would expect us to do better than the media prediction regardless. Now, more than enough talking from me. Let's jump straight into the first game of the season against Kendall Town. All right, and these are the lineups that we're going with. They're playing a flat 4-4-2. Bacon in goal, phenomenal name, Morgan Bacon, ex-Carlisle Junior himself. Looks to be a solid option. We've got a couple of regen players, a couple of players that aren't in this face pack. We're, of course, going with our 4-4-2. You did just meet all the players, but to fire them off quickly, Robinson will start in goal, Sears and Brown as the central defensive partnership, D'Souza as the left wing back, Walker as the right, Brandy and Aris will be the creative forces on the wings, with Swales and Hill in the middle, and Dixon will play as the number 10. Waltman will lead the line up top. We're hoping to get off to a good start, and a win to start the season would be a perfect way to kick off Season 3 as we continue our climb through the lower divisions. If we start firing through and beating teams comfortably, we'll do 5 episodes for this season. If it's a bit more of a drag and there's more twists and turns, we might try and push it out to 10 and do this season across 2 weeks. We'll just see how it goes. But let's first start with this first one and just say assertively, if we play our game, we'll win. Most have responded positively. Only Eden Sears is demotivated. Let's calmly tell him pressure's off, and he hasn't responded positively to it, so I don't know what he wants from me. First corner, Aris with the deep ball in, Sears with the strike. It hits the crossbar. I think the keeper got something on it before it went away, and then Kendall scramble it clear. So a good start from the set piece to start the season. D'Souza with a deep free kick. Looks long towards Dixon in the channel. Turns his man expertly. Now bursts inside, gets it on his right foot and finds the finish. What a run that is from the young Australian, Charlie Dixon. A wonderful, wonderful run. Just got goal side, got inside his man, got it back on his favoured right foot and found the finish. It's just a long ball forward from D'Souza. We're not trying to play crazy tiki-taka football in the lower divisions. Sometimes we are going to hoof it long. Excellent finish. Does very well. Keeper's angles maybe could have been a little bit better, but does everything he can. Finds the bottom corner and gets his first for the season. Aris now bursting forward, steps inside. It's a good tackle in the midfield from Cullen. Back to him now. Back to Jenkinson. Into Sloan. Now they've looked for a long ball into the corner. D'Souza should get there first, but it's poor turn. Salmon recovers possession, squares it up for Harrison, and they've immediately equalised. James Harrison with his first goal of the season. We'll check this out in 3 dimensions. It was poor from D'Souza, but really the build-up play in midfield wasn't good either to stop that ball over the top in the first place. Salmon with a smart square up, and Harrison doesn't do too badly. Maybe the keeper could have gotten it if his footwork was a bit better, but they've brought us straight back into this one. Free kick from wide area, asked to take towards back stick. Waltman will bring the ball down now, takes a touch inside, all the way back to D'Souza at left back. Switch out towards Aris, who can cut back on his left-hand foot, that's not a good sentence. Ball pinballs around and Bacon comes out and claims from the rebound. Left-hand foot, that's awful. Corner here, throw in here, Walker to take, towards Dixon, who gets the header back towards goal. Bacon with a long ball forward from a goal kick now. Good header from D'Souza. Ara steps inside. Crossword switch out towards Waltman. It's headed away, and then Sloan knocks the long ball forward. Harrison's gotten himself in behind again. Defence was just asleep a little bit, and he really rifled that one. Thankfully, it was just wide. 10 minutes remaining in the half. We're going to demand more just to give everyone some focus through to half time. Walker with the ball forward to Waltman in the channel. In the wide area. He's gets in behind and strikes at Bacon. Maybe could have looked for the cut back there to supporting runners, but the keeper does well. Big save. Aris will take the resulting corner. Go short to Brandy. Back to Aris again. And the referee immediately calls it back for offside. That's so frustrating with that short corner routine. How often we actually get called offside. Ball hacked away. Hill with the ball back into the corner. It's headed forward to MA and Kendall. He's played Salmon in behind, so they're definitely getting in behind quite easily. Squares one across. Robinson pushes it away. Walker should recover and has time and space in front of him, but the highlight comes to an end. Ball over the top towards Waltman. It's hacked away. Harrison, who's caused us problems getting in behind early in the game, cuts it back for Sloan. Strike from distance. Robinson does very well. Is that the end of the highlight, or are we going to see a little bit more here? Long ball forward. Dixon should win the header. Played to Hill in midfield. Now Walker looks for the ball over the top to Waltman, who's gotten goal side. Can he find the finish? It's not about effort. Gets to the rebound. He's done very well. The debutant, ex-Liverpool junior. Puts us 2-1 up right on the stroke of half-time. We're actually past the additional injury time that was initially quoted. It's not bad, but it is pretty much agricultural football. Walker just with a long punt forward. Waltman reads it best. Good save from the keeper. It might have been going wide, and then thankfully Waltman stays on his toes, gets the rebound and passes into the empty net to give us a 1-goal advantage going into half-time. Just like that, we're at half-time. 2-1 up, 10 shots, 8 on target, 47% possession, 5-3 and 53%. But we have seen there is a danger from them, so let's assertively tell everybody, pleased with how things are going. We're just looking to improve morale as much as we can early part of the season. And as always, we'll give it 15 minutes, look at subs, performances, all that sort of stuff, and make our changes. Corner for Kendall now. Emma with the ball in. It's flicked away. Salmon pushes it back in, and it's just over the crossbar. Right, let's have a look at some subs here. Sears has a yellow card, which we have to be wary of. So let's bring on Seymour to play as that covering central defender. And as far as match ratings going, Brady has struggled a little bit, so we might bring on Soares for his debut. And Ethan Hill isn't having the best game, so maybe we'll bring on Ethan Cole, who is suited to that role. Let's passionately say a lot more to come from you boys. And let's also use Old Faithful, a get creative shout after an hour. It's worked for a couple look pressured. We just need to try and get through to the final whistle. Ball forward from Osman. Good free header won by Brown. Good midfield play here. Swales comes forward. Looks for the switch out towards the substitute Soares on the right-hand side. It's probably like Soares or something, but he's put a good ball in for Dixon. And Charlie Dixon gets his second goal of the game. Excellent impact from the winger on the right-hand side there. Particularly with Brandy struggling a little bit, but that's what you want to see. Fresh legs off the bench, chasing balls into the corner, and then putting it back into dangerous areas. We have also got our wingers set to pass more often or shoot less often. So hopefully we see a few more cutbacks, a few more decent crosses in the box, and not so much shots into the side netting. Good header from Charlie Dixon as well. It's a good debut from him. He's going to take this free kick from a deep area. Jenkinson heads it away. Vernon should get recovered by Swales. Aris now tries to turn the winger. Plays it into Dixon. Can he get the hat-trick? It's an excellent finish from Charlie Dixon. A hat-trick on debut. Ex-Shrewsbury Junior has had a fantastic game for us. And we'll check this one out in 3 dimensions. If it's left-footed, he's gotten a perfect hat-trick on debut. Aris actually lost out the ball there and was lucky that it fell back to him. Dixon now, near post. No, it's a right-footed finish. So 2 right-footed goals and a header. And then he just pulls off, pointing to the sky. Weird little dance. 10 minutes remain. Let's use demand more. See if we can boost our goal difference a little bit and get us high up the table as early as we can. Vernon with the ball, long switch forward. Seymour recovers very well and plays it out left towards Aris. He's got 2 men on him. Plays it square now to Sales. Dixon, back to Swales again. Across to Cole. Good retention of the ball here, better than we've seen probably in most of the game so far. Aris gives the ball up, then recovers with a good tackle on the fullback towards Soares at the back post, and he just heads over. Throw in from D'Souza on the left-hand side, back to Swales. D'Souza with the ball towards Waltman. It's headed away, but Cole should recover. Swales, who's been involved quite heavily in the last few games, drives from distance. It's not a bad effort. Corner for Kendall. It's claimed very well by Robinson in goal. Got 2v2 if we get the ball forward quick enough. Sloan cuts out the long ball forward though. Looks for a switch out to the right-hand side. Walker should recover, and we've got numbers here if he plays the right pass. Sends Waltman down into the channel. He's got men arriving. Instead, I think he's going to strike from distance. It's a good save from Bacon, who got his angles covered very well. And as we get into 3 minutes of additional time, we're going to have a corner here. Aris to take. Deep one towards back stick. Bacon comes out and claims it very well. They've left 3 men forward, but highlight comes to an end. Corner here, Aris to take. Liver's Edge gets the ball back in. Seymour should recover at back post. Not really where you want your centre back. Puts an okay ball back in. Harrison, long ball forward towards Austin. D'Souza wins the header. Seymour recovers and plays it down the line towards Dixon. Is he still onside? Cuts it back towards Waltman, who I think is definitely offside in the build-up. Not a bad finish though. Good to see the two strikers combining with each other, even if they are disallowed goals. It's 30 seconds remaining. There's the highlight still going. Bacon with the ball forward. Source does very well. Walker back inside to Cole, and then the ball in behind for Source to chase. Can he get another delivery into the box here? Not a bad effort. We win a corner. No need to push on that far though. I'd happily just keep the ball in the corner. Aris goes with a deep one in. Vernon now, long ball forward towards Austin. They've got a 3v2 here because they've left man forward from the corner. Great tackle from the left back though, and the final whistle is called. 4-1 in the end. A good victory, 24 shots, 14 on target, 50% of possession. They've had 9-5 and 50%. Considering how early we are in the year and that we're still developing a lot of relationships, that's very good. Passionately, let's say, very pleased with the result and your performance. And it does see with that +3 goal difference, us go up into second spot. Mask had the biggest, I'm probably butchering that pronunciation, winner of the day. 6 goals scored in a 6-3 win. A good few other teams had wins on the opening day of the season, include Stafford, who we know are a decent side. Hyde, who was originally anticipated to do very well, lost by a 3-goal margin on the opening day of the season. So maybe there's a few sides here that are going to defy the preseason expectations. Quality of possession provides victory. Charlie Dixon, of course, with that hat-trick, getting a Man of the Match award. On his debut, no less, debuts for most of the squad. And let's also praise Charlie Dixon and passionately say, superb in front of goal last time out. If he can carry on that sort of form, we are going to have uncovered a real star of the division. Now, looking at the schedule, I do want to try and jump forward a little bit. What we'll do is, if we're struggling a little bit more than usual in the season itself, we'll come back and do these games at the end of August. If things are going well, we might go a little bit further forward and maybe play Felixstowe and Hebburn about 10 games into the season. And maybe we'll do we've done the first game, we might do the 12th and 13th games. On Wednesday, do the 23rd, 24th, or we'll see how our cup run's going. Of course, last season we wanted to focus on the FA Trophy a little bit. I do want to do that again. I'm not as worried about the FA Cup. We'll rotate the squad for that one. But FA Trophy I would like to focus on a little bit more and hopefully put it in the trophy cabinet, because if we go any higher in these divisions... Oh, actually, no, I take that back. The FA Trophy, it's the first time we've been in it. So the FA Vase we missed out on, which is frustrating, but it is what it is. There's also the Integro Dudson League Cup, which we will have later on in September. So a lot of football to be played, a lot of games to get through. But of course, if you have a preference on how much you want to see, let me know in the comment section below. So much of what we do on this channel is going to be driven by your feedback and what you want to see. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Throw a like on the video if you've enjoyed the start to Season 3 and to continue supporting the channel. You can subscribe if you want to be kept up to date on future videos as they're released. Alternatively, if you check over the link, and I got it right the first time, you can follow us over on Twitter at @InTheMixer_FM to see all our interactions within the FM community. Or keep an eye on our Sunday night streams on Twitch, twitch.tv/InTheMixer_FM. But more than anything, thank you so much for watching. That's the portion that means the most to me, and the support for this series has been fantastic so far, so I very much appreciate it. As always, I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the Mixer.